October 2002, a chilling narrative unfolds in the heartland of the United States, Washington, D.C. The nation's capital, usually bustling with life, was suddenly gripped by an unshakable dread. A fear that emerged from the shadows, from an unknown source, and targeted the innocent. An unseen menace, a sniper, began a reign of terror unlike anything the city had ever experienced. People were being picked off, one by one, in everyday situations, pumping gas, shopping, or simply walking down the street. The attacks, seemingly random, spanned a vast geographical area, from the heart of D.C. to the suburbs of Maryland and Virginia. The community was paralyzed by fear, their routines disrupted, their lives held hostage by an invisible threat. In the space of 3 weeks, 10 people were ruthlessly murdered and 3 others critically injured in a series of sniper attacks that brought a nation to its knees. John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo, 2 names that would become synonymous with fear and terror. Born in Louisiana, John Allen Muhammad was a man with a troubled past. A military veteran and a failed businessman, Muhammad had experienced his fair share of life's hardships. His life took a dark turn when he lost custody of his children, a loss that fueled his anger and resentment towards society. Lee Boyd Malvo, on the other hand, was a young man from Jamaica, searching for a father figure. His path crossed with Muhammad's in Antigua, where Muhammad, exploiting the boy's vulnerability, took him under his wing. The bond that formed between them was not one of a typical father and son. It was a bond built on manipulation and control, with Muhammad shaping Malvo into an instrument of his twisted ideology. So what led these 2 individuals to carry out a series of sniper attacks that would terrorize the Washington, D.C. area? It was a shared belief, a misguided conviction that their actions would instigate societal reform. To them, the attacks were not merely acts of violence, they were a means to an end, a way to voice their discontent. Muhammad, with his manipulative prowess, convinced Malvo that their actions would lead to a utopian society, one where children would not be ripped away from their parents, a society that Muhammad believed his children were unjustly taken away from him. This warped ideology was the driving force behind their actions, the motive behind the terror they unleashed. However, this belief was not born out of a desire for societal betterment. Instead, it was a manifestation of Muhammad's anger and Malvo's desperate need for acceptance. It was a toxic blend of resentment and manipulation that led to one of the most terrifying chapters in American history. A misguided quest for change, led by a man who had lost his way and a boy who had lost his path, resulted in a reign of terror that shook the core of the American people. The hunt was on. A nation watched, breathless, as law enforcement agencies raced against time to apprehend the culprits. As the terror took hold, the investigation kicked up a notch. The police, federal agencies, and profilers worked tirelessly, sifting through mountains of evidence, tracing every lead, every call, every clue. The task was daunting, akin to finding a needle in a haystack, but they were relentless, driven by a shared goal: to bring the perpetrators to justice. The breakthrough came in the form of a discarded box of tarot cards near one of the crime scenes, a chilling message from the killers. Forensic analysis revealed fingerprints, which led authorities to John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo. The public played a crucial role too, their vigilance providing investigators with valuable tips and sightings. The climax of the manhunt unfolded in a rest area in Maryland, where the duo was found sleeping in a blue Chevrolet Caprice. The car bore modifications allowing the shooter to fire from within, unnoticed. With the culprits cornered, the authorities swooped in, capturing the killers without a single shot fired. In their wake, they left a trail of fear, a community shaken to its core, but standing united against the face of terror. The relentless pursuit of justice had prevailed, bringing a sense of closure to a city plagued with fear. In a triumph of justice, the reign of terror ended. The DC snipers were no more. The echoes of the DC sniper attacks still resonate today, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. This terrifying chapter in our history forced us to confront our deepest fears, and yet, it also revealed our resilience. We remember the victims, their lives cut short senselessly. Their stories urge us to cherish our safety, a precious commodity often taken for granted. In the face of terror, we unite. We remember, we learn, and we grow stronger. This is the legacy of the DC sniper attacks.